When creating agency staff, first of all, you must create an agency department. To do this, go into your login name, then select Lookups and select Departments. Select Insert, type in Agency and save. The agency department will then be ready to attach to agency positions. Next, you must set up the agency positions. To do this, select your name on the right hand side, select Group Positions and select Insert. Here I am creating an agency care assistant position and put the position into the agency department. Select the home where you wish this position to be available and select Save. If you normally split the care assistant position into care assistant day and care assistant night, I also suggest you create agency care assistant days and agency care assistant nights. Other positions you may wish to create are agency senior care, agency nurse, agency domestic, agency cook. It all depends on your home needs. To create these positions, simply repeat the steps by clicking Insert and then naming the new position, adding the department, the care home, and saving. Once you have the department and position set up, you then go into Staff, Staff Records, select Insert. We're now going to enter the agency workers. These will be generic agency worker names rather than their actual names. You only need to fill in the required fields. Here I've entered the first agency worker. Forename is agency, surname worker 1. As these required fields on the right hand side, just add any kind of generic details that you wish. For date of birth, ethnic origin, marital status, title and sex. For position, select the relevant agency position that you want for this worker. Hours per week, enter as 0. Holiday entitlement, enter as 0. And the start date would be the date you want to start to enter them onto the timesheet. You can leave the payroll number blank, select Next, and then in the employment details, scroll right to the bottom, select Salaried and Fixed Hours as 0. This would allow you to filter them out of the payroll and timesheet reports if required. Once you've created the record, select Save. And Agency Worker 1 will now appear with the main position of Agency Care Assistant. You should have some idea of your expected maximum numbers for agency staff. You would therefore carry on entering staff records until you had enough agency staff to cover the maximum number of agency workers for each position you would have in any particular day. As there will be only 4 agency care assistants at any one time, I've created 4 agency care assistants, and as there will be only 1 nurse at any one time, I've created 1 agency nurse. You would adjust these to your requirements by adding more if required. We are now going to look at how to put the hours that the agency have worked onto the timesheet and then report on it. Once an agency worker has worked their shift, you can then enter their hours into the timesheet manually. To do this, if you've had 2 agency workers on shift, you can add hours into agency worker 1 and then add hours into agency worker 2. In the notes page, you will enter the name of the agency worker. And if you use more than one agency, you could also put the agency name in here. Save it, and the agency hours are then entered. For the second agency worker, again, add the hours. Their name. And the agency name, and save. You will carry on doing this all week until all agency hours have been entered as they are worked. Here I've added some data for the timesheet from the 18th to the 22nd. If you want to do a report for this, you can click on payroll. You can select the date range, in this case the 18th of the 11th to the 22nd of the 11th, and then select export timesheet data. This will open up a CSV file on the bottom left. To select the whole CSV file, click the arrow between the A and the 1, and then double click on the crack between the A and the B. This will then make all of your data viewable. You can see here that the department of agency has your notes in of who covered each shift. Therefore, if you only want to see the agency, you can click on data and you can click on filter. If you filter department by agency, only the agency hours will show up. You can therefore see how many agency hours that you've worked each week. This is useful to check against agency invoices, and it's also good for safeguarding, so you can check back to see which agency worker has covered each particular shift. If you're using Sage, agency and salaried staff are automatically filtered out of the data export. If you're using pay rates, select the date range, select export payroll data. The CSV opens again on the bottom left. Apply filter and take the filter out of salaried staff, press OK, and then you can only see shifts that need to be paid. And it takes out of salaried staff and also agency staff.